But yes, you're in the audience chamber, and now you have the chance to explore around Garrick Bach Monastery. Right stick moves camera, press plus and minus, zoom in, zoom out, dash. If you're unsure what to do next, look at the left side of the screen. Your current objectives will be displayed there. And our objective is accept a quest from Rhea.
I assume you are already aware that you will be teaching here at the Officers Academy, correct?
Yes, I am very aware. They made it very plain and clear that.
You should also take
blah, blah. Clear as day.
With your new home. That is your first task here at the monastery. Please let me know if you accept it. Once you have finished, come and speak with me.
I have to make it clear that might as well. You should speak with every student you can. This might be your only chance to see what they're really like before you become a professor. Speak to the 3 houses, gather information about the students at your house. The students can be found in the reception hall on the first floor throughout the roller. Sure, and we get a sword for the pleasure. Quests are given to you by people around the monastery. Those who could give or are involved in quests have icons by them. Consult with quest menus to see which quests you have accepted. Alright, so case in point, we're just gonna go talk to literally everyone. Let's see what you have to say.
Ha! I imagine you were a bit.
I was talking to Seth, not you, Aloise.
You as a professor here. Frankly, we had someone else in mind for the role, but they ran off during our dust-up with the bandits. Can't entrust students to someone who's abandoned them once before, huh?
You saved the lives of the students you came across. That, at least, was admirable.
I am not sure because I haven't played 3 Hopes yet. I'm not sure if this was patched in due to what 3 Hopes does. But if you play 3 Hopes, there is someone who at least gets into the academy. Not as professor, I believe, but as a student. Will we ever get to that? I don't know. I'm kind of iffy on playing 3 Hopes because imagine it's like playing through a Fire Emblem game with Robin as the antagonist after playing the previous one where Robin was the character. Kind of weird if you would think about it. It's kind of like that.
Now you should make the rounds. Go around the monastery and see that you greet everyone.
Alright, whatever you say, boss. And go to the first floor. And this, like, there usually would be something right there, but it's just like, alright, here, go to the first floor. You have a mini-map. Upper right shows your current location. Zoom in and change with the ZR button. So right now, whoa, what? Was there... I'm not tripping, am I? Was there... No, whatever. Here's the reception hall with thoughts. No, wait, there we go. Yep, there we go. That's what was happening. There we go. Here you are, Edelgard.
So, you've accepted a teaching position here. Pity. I was hoping you would lend your strength to the Empire.
I'll give it some thought.
I never properly introduced myself, did I? My name is Edelgard von Hresburg. I am the princess and heir apparent of the Adrestian Empire.
Yeah, I'm confused about that. How are you a princess and you're next in line to be an emperor?
Would you like to know more about any of the Black Eagles?
You know what? Sure. Yeah, give me some thoughts. And this is where you list the cast that you saw in the cutscene. Like, here we go. Well, let's start off with Edelgard, obviously.
Me? Well, some think I'm a bit distant. Arrogant, even. But there's little to be done. One day, I must rise to become Adrestia's next emperor. What else? Well, it seems to me that we may have similar personalities.
Excuse me, what? Alright, so now you can look at every character as kind of like where they label up as where they go in terms of stats. Edelgard, it starts off as a noble, and the noble and commoner classes are pretty much the same. Maybe I'll put Edelgard's growth rates right here as a noble, but she also, everyone has a defining ability which you can't turn off. It's just kind of like an inherent trait, kind of like what they had in Fates. Strengths are the weapons are the talents that they excel at using. So you see for Edelgard, she excels at using swords, axes, authority, and heavy armor, but has a weakness in bows and reason magic. So do what you want with that information. If I put every character's information, I will. I'm just going to put what their starting ones are as a commoner or noble, based on what they have. Next, we're going to learn about Hubert.
Hubert is the heir of Marquis Vestra. He has served me since I was a child. You may think his blood runs a bit cold, but actually that's rather accurate. Still, if you can get past that, you'll see he's quite astute and reasonable.
Ha! Reasonable, because he sells at raisin magic. Ha! But Hubert right here, officer duty, grants might +5 with gambits, has a strength with bows, magic, specifically dark magic, authority, but is terrible with axes, faith magic, and flying. I guess that kind of makes sense. You would use Hubert as a strike, more of like a magical character rather than anything physical related. Then again, people have made cracked out builds before for every character in this game. So, moving on next, we have...
For some reason, he thinks of me as a bitter rival and is always trying to challenge me. It's terribly irritating. His house is that of Duke Iger, which produces Adrestia's prime ministers. That family is, perhaps, too pleased with its own status.
Yeah, too pleased. But she didn't say her name, but this is Ferdinand Von Iger. And his defined ability is Confidence. Grants hit team and avoidance +15 when units at full HP. He has a strength in swords, lances, axes, and has a strength in riding, and has no weaknesses. And it looks like he has a very balanced stat line other than resistance being god-awful. So, probably don't make him a major or anything. Next, we have Linhardt.
He's remarkably intelligent, but he only wishes to apply himself to tasks that particularly interest him, and nothing else. He's also fond of, well, napping.
This is my spirit character. Yeah, Linhardt seems to be the type of person you can kind of like get along with, so long as he has an interest in something, which is, you know, a lot of people, like, they only apply themselves when they have an interest in something. So, you never know.
If he had any work ethic or sense of duty to speak of, I suppose he would be destined to become an official of the Empire.
An official of the Empire. Sure, why not? Defining ability is Catnap. Unit takes no action except wait. Requires up to 10% of max HP. He has a strength in magic and faith, but is terrible at handling axes and brawling. Using your fist. How to get these two fists. So yeah, given the fact that it looks like they have a capability with magic, you might want to use them as a healer versus someone like Hubert who would be terrible at healing. Caspar is our next student of the Black Eagle.
He's the second son of Count Bergles. He has no inheritance in his future, which is perhaps why he's always so eager to prove himself. He's overly energetic and rushes headfirst into any battle. If he ends up in your care, be sure to keep a close eye on him.
That sounds like pretty much every kid ever, trust me. Got Born Fire. Adjacent foes suffer avoidance +10 during avoidance -10 during combat. Excels at axes and brawling, but is terrible at bows. Bows, magic in general, but probably dark magic or reason magic, and is terrible with authority. I would believe that if he rushes headlong. Perfect waifu. Next, Bernadetta.
She's Count Varley's only daughter. I suppose you could say she's a bit eccentric, but she seems like a gentle soul. I believe she's shut herself away in her quarters and doesn't care to leave, but don't worry, I'll make sure she finds her way to class.
Okay, so Bernadetta only has 2 strengths. Lances and bows. It suffers in swords, axes, brawling, and heavy armor. You might need something from axes though later on, just concerning her stat line. Next we have Dorothea.
Few commoners have joined the Black Eagle House, but Dorothea is an exception. She's a songstress from a famous opera company in the Empire. I'm not entirely sure what brought her to the Officers' Academy.
Neat. Her strengths are swords and reason magic, but has a weakness in faith magic, riding, and flying. You're really not going to have to care about the flying or the horseback riding, but you might want to care a bit about that faith magic real quick. Just trust me, you're gonna need it. And for the last member of the Black Eagles, we have Petra.
To the west of Fodlan is an archipelago called Brigid. Petra is the granddaughter of their king. Brigid is a vassal state of the Empire, which is how she came to be enrolled here. She's incredibly smart and studious.
But you'll see she has a slight communication issue. And I also noticed that I haven't been listing off their defining abilities. Well, you can read. Let's do that. She excels in strength, axes, bows, and flying, but is horrible in both kinds of magic. Do not go for that. Trust me. I've done stupid stuff in this game, but I usually don't go for weaknesses unless I'm trying to do something. And she technically has a quest, but we will move on to the others right here. But oh, look! The gatekeeper!
Greetings! You must be the new professor. What a pleasure. As for me, my job is to stand here at this glorious entrance and leisurely watch over the comings and goings of everyone. Make folks smile, you know? And by that, I mean to vigilantly guard this entrance with my very life. No levity whatsoever. As of now, nothing to report.
Get used to that. We'll be seeing him a lot. I like the gatekeeper. But at the same time, I also hate how people voted for him to be one of the people we use. Anyways. Here's another beautiful shot. Plus, like, we spent a lot of time using this. You're going to admire the ability of this academy. Let's talk to Claude next. He scored a teaching gig, eh, Teach?
Well, scored a teaching gig here, did you? Talk about a great first impression. I guess that means I'd better introduce myself properly. I'm Claude Von Iger. I'm from the ruling house of the Leicester Alliance, but don't worry too much about all that madness. I'm guessing you don't know which class you'll be teaching yet, do you? I bet you'd like ours. We're not as difficult as the other two.
I believe him,
Have you met the
despite the
folks
fact
from the
he's probably a
House?
liar.
Care to know more about anyone?
Sure, why not? And this is going to be our longer video, but whatever. Going in with Claude. Tell me about yourself, young man. What can I learn about Claude Von Iger?
Piqued your interest, have I? As luck would have it, I'm pretty curious about you as well. But what's life without a bit of mystery? Let's just spend the next year or so learning about each other little by little.
Fair enough. And for Claude, his strengths are sword, bows, authority, and flying, but is not that good in lances or in faith magic. Make that which will. Next, tell me about this guy, this Lorenz.
He's the heir of Gloucester territory. If you haven't already picked up on it, he's a bit arrogant and fancies himself a ladies' man. That said, deep down he's really devoted and honest. Though I wouldn't mind never hearing him talk about his noble obligations ever again.
Yeah, when I played through Golden Year, I barely used Lorenz, even though he still came out pretty strong. But he has good power in lances, reason magic or dark magic, riding as his strengths, but isn't that good when it comes to brawling. And he has a very balanced set of stats, as you can no doubt tell. Except for charisma. His charisma is trash! Raphael, he looks like a big man.
He comes from a merchant family, but his parents died in an accident. Seems like he's had a rough life. Despite all that, he's just about the most cheerful guy you'll ever meet. His passions are training, eating, and... actually, that's about it.
This dude is massive. Look at this man. He's the big man on campus. His shirt cannot contain his muscles. Or at least they're struggling. In the same way that they struggle with most button shots in anime. And his strengths are axes, brawling, and heavy armor, but has a weakness for bows, magic, and riding. I guess that makes sense. The dude is massive. The horse would have to be jacked as him to carry him. Up next is Ingrid.
He's the second son of a merchant family. Since his brother will inherit the business, he's training to become a knight. If you ask me, it doesn't seem like he truly wants to be a knight. He's probably just doing it to please his parents.
Familial obligation and pleasing the parents. Yep, I can agree with that as well. Alright, we got swords, bows, and authority as being Ignat's strength, and flying being their weakness. Has a good balance of stats overall, with defense and magic being on the lower side alongside their charisma, but not bad overall. Next, we have the magical nuke herself, Lysithea.
Lysithea is the daughter of Count Ardelia, and is probably the youngest student here. But watch out, she gets angry if you treat her like a child. As for me, I do it on purpose. You have to make your own fun in this place, you know?
I agree with him on that part. It's always fun to just kind of poke and prod people with their little things, like, don't treat me this way, and you just kind of do it in a fun way. But it looks like she gets very angry. As you can tell by Lysithea's stats, she is a powerhouse when it comes to magic, and you can tell by her strengths, being both forms of magic and authority, but pretty much having a weakness in every other physical stat. Being strength, being swords, lances, axes, and heavy armor. So, do with that what you will. I've seen people, again, do cracked out builds on this game. Marianne.
Marianne is Margrave Edmund's daughter, and that's pretty much all I know about her. She doesn't interact much with other students, so I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of folks here have never even heard her speak.
And she actually has quite a few different buffs, being in swords, faith magic specifically, riding and flying, and having a weakness in brawling and heavy armor. Kind of around the same stats that I said, except a little higher. And, you know, for someone who said they never heard her speak, why is her charisma so high? You would think her charisma would be jack of all trades, like, not jack of all trades, but, like, low, like, 1 or 2, because of the fact that no one likes her talks, and she doesn't interact with other people. Hilda! As our next one.
Hilda is the only daughter of Duke Goneril. It seems her father and brother coddle her quite a bit. If you look up lazy in the dictionary, her picture won't be there because she never got around to submitting it. Not too unusual for a noble, I guess.
You're like, your picture will be in the dictionary. In fact, her clause says, nope, her picture's not in the dictionary because she never submitted it. That's good. Has strengths in sword, in lances and axes, but is terrible in authority and faith magic. Has a good, decent set of stats other than resistance. Everything else, fairly fine. And for the last one, Leonie. Let's just focus on.
Leonie enrolled because she wants to be a mercenary. I think she said that her father is a hunter. She's pretty blunt and as stingy as they come. A habitual saver, too. I think she's hoping to repay her village for helping to send her here.
And someone put out a very interesting video where it says that Leonie got scammed. Just trust me, look it up. Anyway, she has good strengths in lances, bows, and riding, but has no weaknesses, which is good. Her only real weakness in terms of stats are her resistance stats. But that follows everyone in the Golden Deer House. And let's actually meet up with these students, shall we? You're Lorenz, aren't you?
Ah, you must be the renowned mercenary who rescued Claude. Honestly, you should not have troubled yourself over the likes of him. My name is Lawrence Hellman Gloucester. You will want to remember it.
I don't like you already, and I have barely met you. Anyways. And yep, here's all the other students here.
So you're the skilled mercenary who saved Claude, are you?
Oh, you are? It's such an honor to meet you. Ignatz Victor. My parents are Alliance merchants.
And I am Lysithea Von Ordelia. Please do not forget it.
Hey, at least Lysithea was polite with you. Ignat, man over there, Lorenz was like, you better not forget it. Like, you do your best to remember it. And let's see, 2 girls, Hilda and Marianne, correct?
Hey, are you that mercenary? Everyone's been talking about you. I'm Hilda Valentine Goneril, and her name is...
Marianne Von Edmund.
Are you joining Knights of Saros or something? Well, I look forward to seeing more of you.
Oh yeah, only the house leaders know that we're going to be teaching. Leonie and Raphael, I presume.
Are you someone's guest?
The dining hall's that way, if that's what you're looking for.
I just ate. I'm fine.
That's Captain Gerald's kid. Hi, I'm Leonie Pinelli, Captain Gerald's first and greatest apprentice. I'm sure he's told you about me.
Nope.
Nice to meet you. I'm Raphael Kirsten. Who are you again?
You just heard my name. You seem nice, but you also seem like you're an idiot. Moving on. Words. It looks like there's still something in regards to.
Oh well, scored. I'm guessing. Have you met the folks from the Golden Deer House yet? Care to know more?
Alright, yep, that's about it. And it looks like there's supposed to be more, but there's a few other people we could go around and talk to. You, right?
This room belongs to the Blue Lion House. Our house leader is Prince Dimitri. All of us here hail from the Holy Kingdom of Fargus.
Neat, I guess. Prince Dimitri, where are you? I saw you training in the courtyard earlier, but you're actually right here.
Please accept my apologies for the other day. You came to our aid, yet I hadn't even the courtesy to properly introduce myself.
It's fine. Just take your time.
Crown Prince of the Holy Kingdom of Fargus. Of course, at the Academy, I am simply a student. And I've heard word that you are to become a professor here.
Yes, I am.
Wonderful news. I still have much to learn, but I'm confident I could benefit greatly from your guidance. In any case, welcome to the monastery.
Yeah, welcome to the monastery. Thank you.
Houses here. Did any of the Blue Lions catch your attention?
Yeah. Tell me about them before I actually go to Dimitri. Tell me about yourself, Dimitri. I'm not even going to pronounce your last name because I probably butcher it, so it'd be better if you just told me about yourself. I'm just going to call you Dimitri from now on.
Me? Oh, please forgive me. It's difficult to open up on the spot, don't you think? I'm afraid my story has not been a pleasant one. I do hope that doesn't color your view of me, but I understand if that can't be helped.
Yeah, fair enough, I suppose. And he has strengths in swords, lances, and authority, but has a weakness in magic and axes. Why axes? He looks like he's a strengthy boy, but I guess because they don't want to give every character their, unique stat line of like, oh, I'm good in this and this, but not this. But whatever. Good stats overall, but pretty pathetic magic and resistance, which you're not going to use them for.
Hello.
Moving on to this young man. Dedu, correct?
Dedu was born in Dusker, and has been loyally working in my service for the past 4 years. He's rather taciturn, but once you get to know him, you'll see he's a kind and good-natured young man.
Gentle giant, like Raphael, but probably, hopefully more intelligent. Anyways, very pathetic magic and resistance, even lower than Dimitri's. And it looks like he has very good defenses, given the fact that he pretty much excels in all physical combat except for swords, with lances, axes, brawling, and armor, but has terrible magic, riding, and flying skills. Then again, this man looks like he's built different, so I suppose you also have to be a juggernaut of a unit to carry him. Next is on to Felix, right?
Felix is the heir to House Fraldarius. He has a bit of a sharp tongue, but don't let that fool you. Deep down, he's a good guy. He gravitates toward people who are skilled. Perhaps you would enjoy a friendly competition with him sometime.
Maybe. Sharp tongue usually means edge. I mean, look at this man's hair. Looks like he doesn't do it every day at all. Pretty good balance of stats. Like a good mixture, except for defense and res. Seems like he'll be our speedy boy. Has sword, bows, and brawling as good, but weaknesses include magic and authority. Huh, neat. Moving on to Ash as our next one.
He's the adoptive son of Lord Lenato of Castle Caspar, but I hear he was born a commoner. He has an extremely earnest personality, so I'm certain he will approach your lectures with great enthusiasm.
Huh, maybe. Good with axes and bows, but it's terrible at magic. Not too many strengths, but only one weakness. And has a good balance of stats overall. I'll accept that, sure. And it looks like he'll be a thief given his own defining ability. Sylvain as our next character, right?
Sylvain is the heir to House Gautier. He is a capable person who highly values his friends. That said, well, he's always been a bit of a skirt chaser, so to speak. Pardon my bluntness. I speak with him about it often, but it doesn't seem to help.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to help him. Has a good balance of stats, except for resistance, obviously. Is good at lances, axes, and horse riding, but has a weakness for bows. Philanderer. I don't like him. I grew to like him more in my Blue Lions playthrough, but I really still do not like this character. Mercedes. Not Mercedes, Mercedes.
I hear she was born to imperial nobility, but a twist of fate brought her to the kingdom. She may seem carefree on the surface, but she's actually a kind soul who pays careful attention to everyone around her.
Huh. Sounds like she's going to be a healer then. Live to serve. Yep, healer. Alright, she is good in both forms of magic, but pretty much is horrible in all forms of physical relatability, being swords, lances, axes, and heavy armor. But has very decent magic and okay defense.
Annette is Baron Dominic's niece. She is a talented student who scored extremely high marks at the Royal School of Sorcery. She's cheerful and hardworking. Brilliant, really. Though she can be a bit oblivious at times. I hear she caused an explosion in the kitchen last night.
Alright, moving on to Annette, as you can see. She looks like she'll be a rally block, because you can use rally to grant 4 strength to all allies. And she has a strength with axes, what the frig? Reason and authority, but it's not good with bows or heavy armor. Kinda makes sense. And for our last one is Ingrid.
Ingrid is Count Galatea's daughter. She is also a childhood friend of Felix, Sylvain, and myself. She is diligent, industrious, and principled. In truth, she is more knightly than most knights you will ever meet.
Huh, I believe it. Having good balance of stats overall and having 4 strengths and no weaknesses seems very, very impressive. Be concerned about that strength stat though.
I appreciate your effort.
And with that, that's actually all the information we need to do. And there you go, quest complete. And we receive Iron Sword, Vulnerary, and 500 gold, even though it's really not necessary. And you can return to Rhea, but we're going to continue exploring real quick because we want to hear from every other character real quick. Here's Sylvain.
Hey there. Are you the mercenary who saved His Highness? It's an honor to meet you. I'm Sylvain Jose Gautier. Feel free to say hi whenever you like.
I'll give it some thought, even though I don't like you all that much. Here we have Dedu and Ash. Pleased to meet you.
Hi there. You must be the one everyone's talking about. I'm Ash. Great to meet you. This here is Dedu. He serves Prince Dimitri.
I have heard that you rescued His Highness. Words cannot express my gratitude. Should you ever require my strength, please know that I will hasten to repay this debt.
Alright, sure. I'll give it some thought. Next, Felix and Ingrid, right?
I have heard all about what you did from Prince Dimitri. As a citizen of Fargus, I thank you.
He also said you're quite skilled. And he doesn't just say things like that. I look forward to sparring with you and beating you.
Ha!
Felix, must you always speak of fighting right away? Oh, and, you may call me Ingrid. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Sure. Yeah, this is what it's talking about when Felix has a sharp tongue. Mercedes and Annette.
And who's this? You don't look familiar at all. Do you work here at the monastery?
Oh, mercy! Do you think this is that mercenary people have been talking about?
Now that I think about it, that does sound like something Dimitri may have said. I suppose you'll be enrolling at the Officers' Academy too, then? Well, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yep.
My name is Mercedes, and this is my best friend.
I'm Annette. It's nice to meet you.
This house seems like it's not that big on formalities, despite the fact it seems to have like the most, like a good mixture of nobles and commoners. Then again, you could say the same for the other class, for the Black Eagles as well.
This is the classroom of the Black Eagle House, which is for students from the Adrestian Empire. Our house leader is Princess Edelgard. There are many other nobles among our ranks as well.
Yeah, it seems like, alright, yeah, there's a lot of nobles, and bam, it's just like all the options just pop up. Ferdinand and Bernadetta, right?
What? I don't talk to strangers.
Bernadetta, this is no stranger.
Our house leader owes this person a great debt. Is that not right?
You're dang right, she does.
Ferdinand Von Iger, legitimate son of the Iger family, the Empire's foremost house. Are you going to join our class? I look forward to getting better acquainted with you.
Sure, we'll leave it at that. Anyways, moving on to Dorothea.
Well, aren't you just lovely? Is this your first time in the monastery? Shall I show you around? Oh, my name is Dorothea. Before I joined the academy, I was a member of an opera company in the Empire. You should hear me sing sometime.
I'll give it some thought. And yeah, we had some technical issues there. I had to go do something for my younger brother. I had to take him somewhere. So, yeah, that was Dorothea. Next, we move on to Caspar and Linhardt, correct?
Is it true that you saved Edelgard? That's incredible.
Is it really that incredible? I mean, really, just thinking about it.
Linhardt, goodbye.
Sheesh, Linhardt.
Well, that's just rude.
The academy with those manners. So, are you a student here too? Maybe we'll be in the same class.
At least Caspar is more polite, and when you start the game, you would really think that Caspar would be the more rude of the two, but it's like, no, not really. Just really polite consideration against all the other two. I am most grateful and I am pleased. Petra and Hubert, correct?
I am Hubert, a humble servant of Lady Edelgard. I heard you came to the aid of Her Highness. You have my most sincere thanks.
Thank you, you saber snake-looking mother effer.
She has come all the way from Brigid to study in the Empire. Back on her archipelago, she is actually a princess. In Fodlan terms,
a princess, you say?
Hello, I am called Petra. I am pleased to be meeting with... I am pleased to have met you.
Ah, the language barrier. I suppose I should return to Rhea. And yeah, since we've actually... Whoa. Since we've actually finished talking to everyone and seeing how the students are interacting, I believe it actually is time to return to Rhea. Return to the audience chamber, even though it was like, oh yeah, I can spend
How are you
around,
enjoying
you
your
really don't
time
need
at
to.
the academy thus far? I hope you have found our halls brimming with the vitality of well-intentioned souls.
That's debatable, considering what I've heard about some of them.
It is time for you to take charge of one of our 3 houses of students.
Roll credits.
I must note that I am personally against entrusting someone as lacking in trackable history as yourself with such a task. But it is as the Archbishop desires.
Seth has
The
a
Black
reasonable
Eagles,
detestability
the
of
Blue
this. It's
Lions,
reasonable.
And the Golden Deer. All so different. I hope you've made it a point to get to know each of them.
Since you are new here, we have decided to allow you first pick. Manuela and I will take charge.
I'll take that as a compliment. It's like, hey, you, since you're here, you're new, you get first dibs. And it's like, oh, which house will I choose?
So you have chosen the Black Eagles led by Edelgard, correct?
Hold up. Not yet. Not yet.
Are you having trouble deciding?
I am having trouble deciding. It's just like, let me pick. Because, like, we're just going to go all of them. The Addressing Empire and the Black Eagle House. A house for students from the Addressing Empire. Many are nobility, and most of them use magic. So if you want a quote-unquote magic house, you can use this. And all of them have the capability of using magic. Case in point, Edelgard has some magic, actually. Hubert, Dorothea, Linhardt, and Bernadette is learning some very, very basic magic, but it's only very, very basic, like I said. Then you have the Blue Lions. Most value are from the Kingdom of Fargus, and most value chivalry and excel in military arts. And then we have the Western Alliance. As per regional tradition, many are skilled archers. Really, there's only 2 of them that are skilled archers. Well, 3 actually, count Leone, because I believe that's one of our buddy talents. So here's the thing. I've heard a joke about this. You have the best waifus in Black Eagle. You have the best story with the Blue Lions, and you have the best friends with the Golden Deer. But as per what I said in the beginning, when we start this playthrough, we are going to be starting with the Black Eagle House, as well, they have the shortest route, unfortunately, and you'll see why when we get towards the end. So let's start with the Black Eagles.
So you have chosen the Black Eagles led by Edelgard, correct? Your heart has made its choice then.
And notice the border
All
change.
I ask is that you guide these open minds with virtue, care, and sincerity.
They are all promising youths who bear the weight of Fodlan's future upon their shoulders. I hope you appreciate what an honor it is to lead them.
Yeah, I've worked with kids, I've worked with teenagers. There's always some honor in helping them learn how to work about. But in this case, this be so out of left field for me. I would not be qualified for this at all.
Brother? Oh, I am so sincerely sorry. I did not mean to interrupt.
Yellow? Who is this?
I'm in the middle of something, Flame. Is it urgent?
I don't know.
No,
Did you
no,
say?
it's nothing. More importantly, who is this?
This is our newest professor at the Academy.
Oh my! A new addition to the Officers' Academy! I am so very pleased to meet you, Professor. I am Sedith's little sister, Flame. I am so happy to make your acquaintance.
Let us focus on the topic.
It is a pleasure, Flame.
There is something you should be aware of. In a few days' time, there will be a mock battle between the three houses, intended to gauge the current progress of the students.
That doesn't seem like a very good idea, but
we will be using this
alright.
battle as an opportunity to ascertain your own abilities as well. Please do not disappoint the Archbishop. That is all.
I have a feeling that we are going to be very underprepared for this. And...
Wait, so our new professor is you? I didn't see that one coming.
Easy, Caspar. Aren't you being a bit rude?
You know it's a waste of time to expect politeness from him. It will be a pleasure learning from you, Professor. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to take a nap.
Don't look at me like that! Oh, and please don't talk to me too much either.
I'm sorry for the chaos you've walked into.
I hear we are rather close in age, Professor. I hope you do not mind if we treat you like one of us. In our class, we try to treat each other as equals, despite any differences in age or status. Personally, I would love to include you in that inner circle.
You have a gut, Professor. I will take great joy from your teachings.
Petra, I believe you mean to say that our professor has guts. That's a bit different from having a gut.
You can't go around saying someone so slim and attractive has a gut. Oh, please take my apologies. I have not yet mastered this language.
Professor, I want you to know that it's perfectly acceptable for you to treat me as you do the others. I may be the Imperial Princess, but here at the Academy, I'm just another student. That said, know that I have high expectations of you, and high hopes. But I'm certain you can lead the Black Eagle House to greatness.
Sure. Now let's break the ice with a training session. I want to see our new teacher in action.
Why will the ice be broken? Is this a custom I have missed in my studies?
Not real ice, just the ice of, well, it just means let's get to know each other.
I don't want to train. Let's stay in the classroom and learn from a book.
Let's all calm down and have a nice cup of tea, how about? Doesn't that sound lovely, Professor?
This is utter chaos. I love it.
I know we all agreed to treat each other as equals, but there is a limit to what I can tolerate. The esteemed Black Eagle House requires order.
Looks like your first job will be to quiet down this racket. I don't envy you.
They're not normally this rowdy. I do hope you can manage, Professor.
I'll have my work cut out for me, as I can no doubt tell. And with that, that will conclude this end of the ever so long and arduous learning curve for all the students. You could probably see what a lot of us are going to have to deal with when it comes to how ineffective this will be. There are new places to explore in the monastery, And you receive 1,000 gold from the Church of Saros as funding for this month's activities. Hey, we got extra 1,000 gold. And what's going on now?
Say, while you're here, I'd like to use this device I designed to determine whether the power of a crest resides within you. Won't hurt a bit. Promise.
Why don't I believe you? I have a very little capability of believing you. But then again, I don't like being tested on, no matter what.
You don't know about crests? Well, allow me to tell you everything. Absolutely everything about them. Is your calendar clear? This will take a while. Crests are a fascinating topic.
My calendar is not clear. Can we please move
one
along?
can dive deeply into said topic.
Just gonna ignore me?
One
Okay.
must first understand what crests are. They are power incarnate. They are said to have been bestowed upon humans by the goddess countless ages ago. They exist within the flesh and are passed down through bloodlines. Those who carry crests may excel at magic, display exceptional strength, or any number of boons.
Now, from what I remember, this is very similar to what they have in Genealogy of the Holy War, where it's what they have, like, what, Crusader blood or Hero's blood, one of the two. I can't remember what it is. I'll probably put it here or something. But it's always kind of like interesting, like, oh yeah, we have these two things, like, very similar, but also kind of weird.
Each crest has its own power, the nature of which is beyond mortal understanding. For now.
I wonder why it's beyond mortal understanding. Maybe someone could have been tainting the well of knowledge, so to speak. And what makes you think, well, we know we have a crest. Something procced in the middle of battle last episode. 2 episodes ago on episode 1 where we faced Costas. Something popped up. It's like, huh? What was that?
I suspect as much, yes. But we won't know for sure unless I look into the matter.
Until you look into them. Alright, sure, fine, whatever.
Said, crests are passed down through the blood.
So, crests can inherently be passed on to someone through their kids. So, case in point, say if I have crest of, I don't know. Let's just say, let's go with something simple. Just say you have, like, I don't know. I guess, like, the Fire Emblem Awakening is the closest example. Say if I had the brand of the Exalt, and that can be passed down through blood. As so long as you're of the exalted royal family.
However, just because someone carries a crest does not necessarily mean their descendants will inherit it as well.
Excellent point. Look at Lissa. Lissa, when talking to her son Owain, is wondering if Owain has the hero's brand or the brand of the Exalt, because it never formed on her, or maybe it just formed in an area that she can't, I don't know, look at. I don't know. It's a weird thing. Those things can later be found like almost anywhere. It's really weird now that I think about it.
Only a scarce few descendants of a crest's bloodline end up inheriting that crest's power.
So
Perhaps
only a select
one of
few
your
people get to be
ancestors
broken
bore
in
a
OP.
crest,
Got it.
And you just happen to inherit it. That is how a crest usually presents itself, after all.
Really, it's just like, most people's like, I don't like invasive experiments, but hey, if it finds out if I'm OP, I guess it'd be like, do what you can to find out. Imagine if that happened to everyone in real life. It's like, oh yes, I have the brand of badassery. I can be a badass. Do what you can to find out, please. I want to know if I'm badass.
Of course. I'll get to the bottom of it straight away. Now then, please go ahead and hold out your arm over this device here.
What device? I don't see a device. But what? That looks far more advanced than it actually
What
should
is
be.
this?
At least for what we assume is medieval
I've never
times.
seen before. Is it possible an as yet undiscovered crest has been detected?
Excuse me,
To
what?
think there are still crests out there that even I am unaware of. How thrilling! Ahem. Pardon my unrestrained jubilation. I have much to consider. You may leave now.
Thank
I
you.
have more
Okay.
research to do in regard
Just
to
gonna
this
ignore me
crest.
still. Alright,
Yes,
sure, fine,
so
whatever.
very much more research. But for now, your work here is done.
I am not meant to be poked and prodded.
What could
Come
this
on,
line
I am not a
here
dang lab
indicate?
rat.
Perhaps it represents a lack of symmetry.
A lack of what?
What in the world?
Okay.
Oh, I see. It may be connected to that, but to a greater degree than usual.
And I'm just gonna walk away from this. We really don't need this from anyone. Now, with that over, we get on our first day off. But you're gonna have to wait till next time. But if you want to know, Renown has increased as a special perk from your new game. Plus, save file. DLC supplies have arrived. Head to your personal quarters and check by the bed to pick them up.
With each moon, professors of the Officers' Academy receive a schedule for the month ahead. It notes the days on which events and missions will take place that month. Pay careful attention to your schedule, so that you may thoughtfully plan what you intend to do each month, and when.
Yeah, and that's just like your calendar schedule. The only days you really will have anything to do are the weekends, namely Saturdays, or in this case I think it's Sundays, because go what? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, yeah, you have Sundays off. It's weird because the way the thing's set up. But the monastery schedule features different events on different days. Each week you will have one day off when you choose an activity from the list. And your first option will be Explore. Select the calendar. Select the calendar with directional inputs to view it. So you really only have one option. So yeah, you can only explore. But do know this. It's basically going to be a rotation of explore, battle, explore, battle. That's what I'm going to basically do. But if you look at statistics, you can't access it because you can't do anything yet. You can look at the armory and the marketplace, but we're going to save for right now. Save right now, and we're actually going to close the episode out there. We have chosen our house of choice, and now it will be time to actually explore Garrick Monastery in its entirety. But everyone, that'll be the end of the episode. My name is Omega Zero, and I will catch you all later.